Oh man, holiday decorations are a fun way to get into the festive spirit, and even more if you can keep your costs down and make your holidays a little bit more affordable. Fortunately, decorating for the holiday doesn't need to break the bank, no matter what your budget may be. And with only 28 days left till Christmas, we're grateful that we have the mother daughter duo of Jamie and Diane from Drift Home JA. And they're going to help us today to set our homes in order for the holiday, and they're going to do that on a budget. And look at them looking all beautiful and smiling. Welcome, Jamie and
Thank
Diane.
you.
Is
Thank
it
you.
Diane and well, Jamie is the daughter and Diane is the mom.
Yes.
It's a bit switched around on the title, but it's all right.
Yeah, oh
It's all
yeah,
good. How are you?
Good. And you?
I'm good. I'm very curious about how you guys got into this, so you have to start with that before we jump into
Before
the
we go any
holiday and a
further.
budget thing. Yes. Who's
Yes.
gonna-
Well, so my mom really, was the one that kind of inspired me. Just growing up, seeing how she always was using natural materials to decorate our home and just being very creative and kind of using what she had already to just elevate our space. And it was in December 2020, actually, pandemic, and me just wanting to find another stream of income. I already had another business, but I said, hey, why not monetize, something that mommy has been doing for years, and I myself am creative as well. So we just decided to, let's make this into a business.
And
Let's
how's
do
it going?
It's going tremendously well, Calando. I mean, we are just feeling extremely blessed. It's not even December 7th will make a year. And we're already in like 4 or 5 major locations across the island.
Wow.
So yes, and we have our website up and we're on another online platform. So things are going, we're grateful.
So, but what is it? You say you're in major locations. How are people? These are stuff that you make. Drift home sounds like you use. Is this like what do you call it? Reclaimed stuff?
Pardon me?
If it's reclaimed.
Oh, reclaimed. Yes, and natural things, like Jamie said earlier. My mom, I grew up seeing my mom. Because my mom, she
You're
used
passing on the
calico.
tradition.
She used calico and she trimmed that with some the Jamaican fabric, that plaid one, and she makes spreads. She made curtains, and she used her, she used to make her own dresses. She needs a new dress. She just moved a bow from the back and she'd put the bow on the shoulder, things like that. So that's how I grew up, and
Wow.
I guess I kept doing things like that. So you
And
live
now
somewhere,
here
it
comes your
hasn't
daughter.
got to be anything of out to break your pocket. Just use where you are. Be grateful for what God has done for you, where God has put you at that
Right.
time.
So, what are some of the things that are available in stores that you guys do?
So we do charcuterie boards, which it's a quick view here. So you use it for meats and cheeses and fruits.
Entertaining.
Yeah, or you can use it as a tray. We also do, this is probably our best seller. We use placemats and we make it out of raffia.
What?
Yeah.
Fancy
So
stuff.
And we dress it up.
So we sell it
Yeah, I
as a
can
set of
see.
4 and set of 6. So placemats, we have the coasters version
Yeah,
to it. So
yeah.
that's what you will see in stores from us.
Cool. So, all right, I have to talk to you about that. You just gave me a
Yes.
nice idea for a gift for somebody for very soon. Anyway, but let's get to the ideas you have for us now. So,
Mhm.
Christmas is on us. This year, it feels like we're saying this year, and we really mean 2 years, because
Yeah.
2020
Yeah.
was like terrible, and then 2021 kind of didn't.
That's right.
So
Exactly.
the last 2 years have been a little tough, and that means for some
Yes.
people things are tight.
Yes.
But they still want to bring a little bit of the festivity and joy into their home. Do you have like a list that we can use to make that happen? Walk us through that.
Oh, sure. My first thing, as I told Jamie earlier, you will look to the Creator. He created, He made the heavens and the earth, and He gave us trees, He gave us plants. and he gave us the bright, brilliant sun. And
Yes.
from these things, we see colors. We see how God matched colors. We see how God, if you look at a bird, you see how he placed a yellow with a purple. And so you just go outside and you see what God has to offer you, and you use that. You use the palm trees, the coconut trees, the husk, the coconut itself, and you use that to be containers, like plant containers, and you spray them up, you know?
So so we did have a list, or we do have a list, of just some key things. One thing we said you must have this season to just help to elevate your space on a budget. Spray paint. Spray
Spray paint.
paint is a must. I don't think there's any project or DIY project that can happen without spray paint. So definitely try to get spray paint in metallics. So gold and silver specifically, just because of the season, but definitely don't limit yourself and go beyond the traditional red and white, or what we typically think of when we hear Christmas. As Mommy mentioned, go outside. A lot of the things that we do even for our business is just natural items. So don't be afraid to take up a branch that has fallen, or old pieces of trees that and paint them, spray paint them, add ornaments to them for sure. And even your balls, the ornaments that you would have had from last year, don't think that, I have to go out and buy new ornaments this year. You can always just spray them over. So I mean, we're just talking about how important spray paint is,
Apparently, yes.
and how it can
Spray paint.
how it can really just help you to just jog your creative juices.
And the same coconut tree, as I mentioned earlier, it produces fronds, and with balls, those little nuts, they're nuts.
Yes.
Those, you tear them down, put them to dry, and you spray them. Stick that in your Christmas tree. And your Christmas tree hasn't got to be the willow tree.
Right.
It can be a branch that you took down, or a branch you passed and you saw it on the road.
Yes, you're saying.
Throw it in the car. You're gonna put it in an old pan, fill that with sand, fill it with stones, and there you go.
You're saying, you say reimagine what the Christmas tree could be, and just express the creativity. Now we're going to come to the fact that some people are not that creative, and therefore the idea might be really nice in their head, but so I'm going to ask you if there's any kind of place that people can go and maybe just pick up some of these things, or maybe they can get in touch with you. We'll come to that in the end. So what else is on your list?
Okay, on our list we have baskets as well. Lots of us have baskets around the house. Sometimes you get gift baskets, and you tend to throw away everything. Mommy keeps everything.
I keep everything.
She keeps everything, but it comes in handy at times. So you can wrap the basket with fabric. You can paint it.
Spray paint it again.
Yes, and fill it with pine cones. Pine cones, definitely, that goes with the season. And yes, you can get that in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So you can fill the baskets with pine cones, and it really just adds that holiday flair to your home.
Yes. And you can also get the foam, and make them, just shape them into balls, shape them square, wrap them with fabric, tie a little bow with the same fabric on it. So you have different balls. If you cannot afford the ones in the stores, you can do that with the foam. Or use the same fabric, just tough old fabric. You cut a square, and you put old pieces of fabric or sponge, bring it up, tie in the middle, and you have a ball. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that actually made me think, if you don't have gifts this Christmas, which after you pass a certain age, nobody buys you gifts anymore. So you can always use old boxes and wrap them like they're gifts.
Oh yes.
And just put it under your tree.
Under your tree. Every year we do that.
Whatever your tree is.
Whatever your tree is.
Right.
Which means that you probably don't even only have to put it under it. You can also hang it on it, whatever your tree is.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, see, the creative juices are flowing.
It's already flowing. Just
right.
as we're saying it, people are saying, yes,
Yeah.
one more thing, Kalando, which is very which we have used a lot, is wine bottles. So that's another thing.
Or
Save
any
your
bottle.
bottles. Yes, any bottle.
Spaghetti jars.
Yes, I prefer when they have
Shape.
a nice shape. So save those, because mommy stores them as well. She stores them under the sink, and then when she's ready, she'll take them out, spray paint them gold, silver. They're great on a table.
Adhesive on it.
So when you're, doing your tablescapes for the holiday season, definitely you can use the bottles as centerpieces.
All right. So where could people find, and maybe that's something that you guys drift home, JA, maybe how could people find some of these things that are unique, but like already done, that I could just come get it and put it in my house, um, do you have any sort of ready-made budget-friendly items that people could just come get?
Well, we can make recommendations of
Go ahead,
ready-made, budget-friendly.
For example, balls we don't do.
Yes, but you can definitely stop by. I mean, I don't want to. We're
Discount
not
stores.
promoting any stores, but yes, go to discount stores.
Lots of discount stores.
Yes, when you think of, if you just want to call some
Downtown.
names. Yes, and you can find the bottles for inexpensive. I mean, you will have to do some creative. You'll have to do some DIY though, Kalando. You can't get a lot of these things just ready made for you, but you can definitely check out, just your local discount stores
and fabric stores.
Go
into the boxes with the ends.
Yes,
that's where I go.
So in our fabric stores,
go to the fabric stores and go to the boxes with the ends.
So,
that's right.
So the fabric stores would have boxes of fabric so they're not on a roll, so they'll tend to be cheaper.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
and they sell them as ends.
Yeah, so they'll refer to them as ends.
All right. How do you what, and then do you have any ideas for how people can? So you've given us a lot of ideas about things that you can do to just use your own creativity, come up with something that has your unique expression by just using stuff that's around with bottles or boxes or old baskets and rewrap and stuff and spray paint and all of that. And I said, that sounds pretty good for the person who is probably that creatively inclined. They love these ideas. But then you have people who really want the stuff in their house, but they can't do them themselves. And so they may have to go shopping. But again, you don't want to break the bank. How would you advise someone who has to go get the ready-made stuff to kind of not
stay within their budget?
Yeah, how do you stay in budget where you can't do it yourself, but you really want to go get some nice stuff for Christmas?
Yes, well, I would say, as I said, if you are definitely trying not to break the bank, unfortunately, you are going to have to try to do some things yourself. You can't really go around it, but I would say we live in the world of YouTube, and there's just so much information out there for you to just guide you. So we know that a lot of people don't have that creativity, but trust me, there are easy, steps that you can just follow. And that's really, if you're really trying to save money, that's something that you're just going to have to.
You're going to have to just try and do it yourself.
You're just going to have to do it, otherwise.
Are there any, if I want to go buy stuff and I want to stay on the cheaper side, budget-wise, what are some pieces that I could okay, you can go get these 3 pieces and then the rest you do yourself?
Definitely spray paint, as we mentioned. Definitely glue. So they have spray adhesive, so you could get it in spray form, or if you just already have glue at home, just regular Elmer's glue, that can work as well. And I would definitely say glitter. I think anything else you can probably find around your house, like the boxes, the tree branches. So spray paint, glue,
old jewelry,
stick to glitter. Yeah.
Old jewelry. What can you do with old jewelry?
You can paste them onto these bottles. You can paste the old jewelry onto the bottles. They're toilet paper rolls. You cut them in half. You use twine around that toilet paper roll and you make a napkin.
Oh.
Okay. You cut the toilet paper roll probably in 2 or 3 places. Wrap it with twine and you put a little button on it, or you put an old jewelry that you had put up in some drawer. Just stick it onto it with some paste, and you have a napkin. Things like that.
Do you have any ideas for how you could make a small space seem bigger?
Oh, definitely. So we actually do mirrors as well. So we found that mirrors help to just make the space feel bigger. We know mirrors tend to be on the expensive side, but I mean, if you can find some way, I don't know if you had it probably in another room, and so now you're trying to make this room look bigger, you can move it because that will help. Paint, all this time of year, everyone tries to, spruce up the place, try to change the paint color. So
Look
definitely go for, look for sales and definitely go for lighter colors then if you're trying to make that small space feel bigger.
What's a
So a
lighter
mirror,
theme?
lights, definitely go for, don't be afraid of white, but I would say go for a white with a warm undertone. So I love Sherwin-Williams Alabaster, or just any, if you're going to the paint shop and you're going for a cheaper brand, definitely just ask them for something that has a warm undertone. That way your room doesn't feel, the white isn't blinding, but definitely whites, creams,
lighter shades.
just lighter shades to really just open up the space.
Okay, lighter shades and mirrors. Is there anything else?
And definitely if you have people
move around the space.
move it,
Furniture.
change around the furniture, the spacing. Sometimes persons tend to put very big furniture and neglect the fact that this space can't hold, your king size bed really is not fit for this room, so
Yeah.
don't be afraid
Have
to
to
just
know
know your spacing. Your curtains too, blackout curtains might not be the best for your space because it really just limits the light.
Darkens.
So try to get sheer curtains, which a lot of persons can. You can go to your local tailor or seamstress, and they can, make some curtains for you, and that will just bring in some natural light and also make the
Right,
space feel
and that's
bigger.
perfect.
And another thing I must tell you, growing up, mommy would move the furniture. She moves them. Or Christmas is coming, or the dresser is finding a new space in the same room, but the
Yes.
dresser is going to a different corner. The bed is gonna go somewhere else,
Yes.
and the stool is gonna be put somewhere else, and the you just keep moving the furniture.
I don't make the space feel fresh.
And it makes, yeah.
Without buying
Without
something
going out to
new.
buy
Yeah, you can
something.
refresh the space with
Refresh
moving
your
it.
space.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm hearing. What is this about reinventing the recycling bag? Is that a thing you're gonna tell me about? What is recycling?
I saw it, Calando, and I was wondering what that was about.
All right. Well, maybe we can jump over that one because I don't really get it either. But you can tell us about
Thought
your
you knew.
No, I don't know.
It could be old ribbons. I still have ribbons I bought probably 3-4 years ago that I'm still using at Christmas time. You still use I don't throw them away. I keep them. I just roll them up at the end of Christmas and I pull them out next year because I'm using probably just an end and not just the whole thing again. You can use burlap as ribbons. You buy a little piece of burlap and just
And
cut
that's
it
very
out. Inexpensive. Recycling. So
All right. So tell us about your pieces at Drift Home and how people can find you. You mentioned your website. What's the URL for your website?
Yes, so we are in Fontana. We're in Fontana, Waterloo, Fontana in Fairview, which is in Montego Bay. We're also in the Collective in Montego Bay. That is formerly where Shops at Rose Hall. It was called Shops at Rose Hall. It's a store that only carries local products. We are also in Spaces. That's a home interior store on Arden Road. And try to think if we're on our can check out our website. It's drifthome.bigcartel.com, and we are also on papayo.com, PAPAIYO.com, and so we ship internationally. So if anyone is listening to this overseas, or if you want to send something to a family member overseas,
yes, come to us.
Yes, and we encourage everyone to shop local this Christmas. Of course, support our local artisans.
So it's
from
Driftwood.
Jamaica.
Tell me what it is. Driftwood.
Well, we use driftwood in some of our
the
pieces.
website.
Oh, the website. Oh, it's drifthome.bigcartel.com.
Okay, cool. Drifthome.bigcartel.
And we're on Instagram. That's where you can see all our products, calendar. So to everyone listening, I know a lot of persons are on Instagram. So check us out at Drift Home, All our products are listed there, and you can just see what we're doing. We're coming out with a lot of new items for the season, and we will be at Active Home Center for their mini Christmas village on December 18th. If you want to come and see our new products and of course say hi.
Yeah. I just saw the stuff on your website, looking really nice
Good.
and
Good,
very
thank you.
So
eclectic.
you can have that. You can, it's COVID, and we're not allowed to stay out late. We're not allowed to meet in big groups. But you can have people come over, and you use the charcuterie boards.
Yes.
It's a little piece of cheese, some crackers. You could use your local cake when you have cake for Christmas, and you'll offer. You can put it in a bowl and just put it on the board, just for presentation. Because we might not be able to go out and spend the big money.
But
you
people can
do it.
come in and it can be nice, and you can have
Exactly.
a vibe. You can create your own vibe there.
You
There you
got
go.
it, Kalanda, you got
There
it.
you- I'm trying. All the creative juices are flowing. Even the words are. All right. Well, thank you, Diane and Jamie, for Drift Home JA, for talking with us today, giving us some really good ideas about how we can make Christmas nice and beautiful.
Do I have time to give one more?
Sure. Yes.
For your spread on your bed, you might not be able to buy or purchase the comforter, or you just go into the store, tell them the size bed you have, buy the fabric, and you can baste it. You can just put the fabric together and baste it with your hands and just throw it on top of the bed. A new look. New look. And
On a budget.
Lots of ideas. New look by just, I don't know what that is in it. You just said basting.
Just use your hand. That's
I'm just thinking that means sew. Does that mean you sew the two sheets together?
But with larger.
You can use your hand.
Oh, okay. Larger loop kind of thing. Like it's not like the little piece.
Rough sewing.
But is that like a big needle, or it's the same?
Oh no, the regular needle. Oh my.
Like Jamie said, you can go see it on YouTube if you try. Or you can get in touch with them. You can go to their website and see. It's Driftwood. Drift Home. Sorry, Drifthome.Using
Driftwood sometimes.
Oh, you probably would. Okay, and then you can check them out on Instagram. Thank you so much for passing by and giving us these ideas.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Sure. Take care.
Merry
Have a great
Christmas to you when it comes.
Yes, all the best for the season.
I hope you make many people's homes beautiful.
Yes,
thank you. And stay safe.
All right, I'll do my best.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, so that's going to take care of our little chat and those ideas for Christmas today. Guess what? So coming up, we are going to tell you what's happening for the weekend, and then we've got some music with Ian Spencer. So we'll take some messages and come right back.
True happiness is something that comes from deep inside. It comes from our hearts. Although we feel that material things or pleasures can make us happy, it is not true. A person who is wealthy may or may not be happy. However, a person who is happy is always wealthy. Happiness reflects one's positive attitude towards life. Such a person strongly believes that whatever happens is for good. Even if he fails in life, he or she doesn't blame destiny for it. An optimistic person will always be happy. Moreover, such a person will be able to find pleasure even in pain. A happy person doesn't depend on others or external factors to make him happy. He will manage to be happy even in the worst situations. Only by seeking unity with the Lord can one find true happiness. No one can make us happy. We are responsible for our happiness. Happiness is a choice. True happiness comes when we realize our oneness with God. In order to be happy, one must be grateful to God for the many things He has given us. A grateful person finds happiness even in the small things in life. We should look at people around us and be thankful. We should be grateful for the eyes. We can see the beautiful world around us. Hi, I'm Shivani Blair, your youth ambassador, reminding you that every day above ground is a blessing. Count your blessings and be happy. It's Youth Month. Let's evolve.
I'll lean on you, lean on me. We got this.
If my pillow could speak, it would tell you how I weep. How I was a bad man on the road, but to Jesus me weak. Yo, this is your boy Psycho, and you're locked into Engage with Kalando on Love 101, the family station. Boom!
Telling you what to do in the upcoming events. Sexual Shalom Global Outreach presents a virtual discussion on the topic Father Wounds. It's going to take place on Sunday, November 28th at 4 p.m. Information on how to join the discussion, you can email info4, that's the number 4, sexualshalom@gmail.com. JBU, that's the Jamaica Baptist Union Horizon Home, presents a virtual benefit concert with a variety of highly gifted performers, including the JCF Choir and acclaimed concert pianist Huntley Brown of the USA. Happens on Sunday, November 28th. You can purchase your tickets online at spuropen.com. The start time is at 6 o'clock, 6 in the evening, 6 p.m. Join National Missionary Youth Ministries for Convention 2021 on Sunday, November 28th under the theme Mask Off, Face to Face with God. You can tune in on YouTube at NMY MMCA. I guess that's the Missionary Youth Ministries for Convention. I don't know what the A is for, but it's YouTube NMY MMCA. And if you want more information, you can call 333-7691. That's 333-7691. It starts at 9. Events segment is sponsored by SpurOpen.com. SpurOpen.com is a Jamaican online platform designed to simplify payments for simplify online payments for charities, churches, event organizers, and micro business owners. If you want to register your event, you can go to SpurOpen.com/events, then click the button that says Get Started Now. The registration is free, and your event doesn't even have to be a paid event for you to be part of it. Thank you so much, SpurOpen.com, and stay tuned. Stay with us. Your world of music is now. I'm going to go straight to it. All right, so inside your world of music today, we feast our ears on some soulful tunes by our guest, whose music journeys through conversations about worship, faith, and relationship. He uses a fusion of reggae, jazz, dancehall, R&B, and he's back with us, gospel artist Ian Spencer. He's going to give us a taste of his new project, Great Is Your Love. We didn't get a chance to fully hear the tracks and so on last time, so we brought him back to make that happen. Ian, how are you doing, man?
Hey, Kali, I'm doing fine. Hello to your listeners.
I'm good. You're kind of low. Can you speak up any louder? Oh, that's worse.
Oh, that's worse. Okay.
Oh, this is better.
All right, how's that?
Oh, much better. Much better. Are we going to play one of the tracks, Davio, or the opening song is supposed to be Divine Power? You want to go with that, or okay? So we're going to play Divine Power, and then we'll come back. I heard a little piece of that one, his Divine Power. This is from a 14-track album that you've done, Ian. It's been a little while in the making, and now here it is. The project is called Great Is Your Love, and I think we probably talked about it a little bit last time, but because we're coming back at it, you do get to talk about it again. Why did you name the project this? Why is this so personal to you?
Well, Great Is Your Love is, and the album itself is a compilation of songs of worship and relationship and encouragement. But they center around the love of God. You know, I felt pretty strongly that the Lord wanted to get a message across that His love is not like the love of man that wavers, and it's a love that draws people to Him. So that is the reason for the name for the project. And you know, as we talk about the us, God loving us, there's a song called Lift You High, which is just an expression of us showing our love for Him. And I felt like the project was just a love conversation between God and His people, whether they're saved or unsaved, because God wants to reach people who don't know Him yet.
So this album has, you talked about, yeah, encouragement. There's praise and worship. There's encouragement, you say, and then there's evangelism.
Yeah, man.
How do you distinguish I mean, it's just a gospel album, is it not?
Well, as I said, the Bible talks about everything. The Bible talks about how we should relate to God and how we should relate to each other. So there are songs like Everyday People, One Day, which I think we'll hear a little bit of later in the show, which talks a little bit about what is happening in Jamaica, which has application, right across the globe, that man must love his neighbor as himself. No, you can't. It's hard for you to love somebody or truly love somebody if you haven't experienced the love of God and understood that love. So the album is knit together really, though it ventures through us worshiping God and Him showering us with His love. It also talks about how we deal with man and man, how we deal with the man on the street. Do we have a heart for what God has a heart for, and are we concerned about the things that are happening in our world? And so, yes, it's a gospel album, and I call it an album that touches several themes because that is what God is concerned about. He's concerned about us outside of the walls of the church as well.
So we're gonna go to your second song. We're gonna hear some songs today. These are songs you've selected. These are your favorites. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, well, I soon tell you which one is my favoriteest.
Your favoritist. All right, fine.
Yeah.
These are your favoritist ones. And so we're going to hear. So this one we're going to hear Lift You High. I think you just mentioned that earlier. So let's take a listen to it. All right. Okay, so that one's called Lift You High. How do you determine what kind of expression you're going to give to those sentiments? Like, how do you know that this sentiment about lifting God high must be a more up-tempo song versus a slower song?
Well, I mean, that song kind of wrote itself, and to be honest, it came in a difficult period. I remember, the person who was over the worship ministry at my church asking, "Yo, Ian, you have a song?" I was like, "Yeah, I have a song, but I don't know why the Lord don't give me that song right now because I really in a no dancing mood, man. I know, and um, the message of the song really challenged me, and so it was talking about praising God when you're having a rough situation going on in your life. You asked a question about great is your love, and I think it's the next track we'll play. I had some moments where I was saying, Lord, you really love me? You really, really love me? And this song kind of helped to cement that's the essence of God's love, that it is not a love that necessarily shields you from everything, but it's a love that will keep you and find you in everything. You know?
Oh, like that. It doesn't shield you from everything, but finds you in everything. And
Yeah, man.
so,
Yeah, man.
so when you're saying in the season that you got this song, which is on Get Up and Dance, Rejoice,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
kind of give him all the praise and run around and bring everybody with you. That
yeah.
wasn't that wasn't that wasn't the
No.
that wasn't your reality, but it is
Uh,
that's what he
yeah,
gave
yeah,
in that
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have purpose to serve the Lord. No matter what, and it's not easy. I certainly I can't say that I've always done the right thing, but God forgives, and God grooms us and changes us, and so there were times when I was like, Father, this song here, I can't reconcile this song with what I'm going through. But the thing about praising the Lord when you're in the middle of something, it is really praise that causes the presence of God to settle in your situation. So no, some of the circumstances have not changed. This album hasn't been released in the context of everything being perfect in my life. Absolutely not. But what I can say to the persons who are listening is God doesn't call or use you because you have everything going right in your life. And that was one of the greatest validations of the love of God for me, because I thought, based on the collage of my life right now, that I really should just run and hide, and through many ways and through many people, God's love found me. God's love restored me. I mean, there's a song called Freedom on here, and especially for men who are going through stress right now. Yes, women are going through stress. I'm gonna leave them out of the song. I can't determine how people receive the song, but I know when I was writing that song is for men who are breaking or who feel broken.
Which one is
Um,
this?
Freedom. I don't
Freedom.
know if we'll have time to touch it
Right. Well, I
tonight,
don't know if
but
we have
but
time, but we can
but
maybe Nissan can play it a little later. But
yeah, man.
Heart's Cry, I hear, is your favorite.
Yeah, man. Well, it
That's why
is true.
Latoya H.
Latoya HD. I want to shout out Latoya HD, tremendous woman of God. Love her, love Charlon and their daughter. They're just wonderful people, and she has graced this song. There's it's the only song I know that I've ever written, but it was not from necessarily for me. Because if you know, not Latoya has a Hearts Cry conference, and I was writing Hearts Cry, and then I heard of Hearts Cry conference because I never understood where the song would kind of come from, and then we linked up. I think I went to her conference and I just met up with some of my other friends and so on, and it was such a blessing, and then the Lord just kind of gave me the strong urge that she needs to sing this song somehow,
All right. Well,
and I'm here
let's hear
to.
her sing it before
Yeah,
we
man, got
take
you, got you.
it.
You can all cut out my part, the part of me sing, and just go to the part where she sing if you want.
My heart is just a my heart cries.
Sorry. I'm here talking and you're not hearing me, right?
Yeah,
You have
no
to
problem.
quickly where they can find your music before we talk a little bit about one of your evangelism tracks because we're pressed on.
Almost like that. Yeah, man. So you can, the songs are on all digital platforms, they're on all online stores. So you can find it on iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music. It's on Pandora. You can also find it on streaming sites such as Spotify, Deezer, etc., etc. There's a plethora of them. You know what? For those persons who are not tech savvy and are really hurting now, I really feel these songs are handpicked for ministry to people. So the songs are actually on YouTube. It helps, it definitely helps for you to buy the music so that we can get to produce more, put out more godly music. But if you're hurting, cut up and dip on your face and you need to find this music, you can check out Ian Spencer Music JA on YouTube. I've put the album there so you can listen to it, worship to the songs, and worship the Lord to the songs, and just yeah, take advantage of the songs there as well. But as I said, feel free to purchase the songs and give us the opportunity to continue to share godly music.
To make some more music. So today we're gonna go out with Joy. Choose Your Joy. is what you said.
Yes, sir.
That's the final track that we're gonna go with today. And remember, folks, that the album has, did you say 3 categories? You've got worship, empowerment, and evangelism. Is it empowerment? Encouragement.
Encouragement. Yeah,
Praise and
man.
worship, encouragement, and
And
evangelism.
evangelism. It's God calling out to people. Say, come taste and see that I am good.
Let's see. Track number 12. Oh, that's Choose Your Joy.
Yeah, that's Choose Your Joy.
All right, I want to say congratulations, Ian Spencer, for putting it together. He just told you where you can find it, folks. It's on every stream, all digital platforms, as well as YouTube. If you just want to go listen and just give you everything to Jesus and watch him heal and watch him touch and watch him encourage and all of that. Thanks, Davio and Nissan, for taking care of things on that other side of the microphone for today's show. I will leave you with Ian Spencer's Choose Your Joy. This one's going to take us out of Engage for another in the series today. It's every Friday at 5:30 in Calando. Have yourself a good one.